like that.
Okay, we moved on from elementary school. Now you're in high school at Adamsville.
Tri-Valley.
Tri-Valley, what's that like?
Uh, there's only 10 blacks that went,
The whole school?
10 or 12, and I had no problems out there.
Did
I
you
had no problem.
participate in school activities?
We lived too far, but I did play basketball and I did play volleyball. We did, but it was far out.
Right.
You
Did
know.
you ever have to walk
We walked to school when we was in elementary. It was a mile.
up? You had to walk up the hill?
You know. And they consolidated the schools together when I think I was in the 7th grade. And that's one thing they made a big thing about. There was too many kids were walking, so they made sure we had a bus. But that's how we had to got there, transportation, walk, whether it was snow, rain, whatever. Yeah, we had to walk.
How many brothers and sisters did you have?
There's 7 of us.
7 of you.
Yeah.
And what kind of chores did you have?
Oh, we had to do everything. We had to work in the garden. We had to wash dishes. We had to clean house. We had to cut grass. Back in the days, you didn't have heat unless you got cold. So we had to carry coal. We had to carry wood. We had to do all that stuff. We did.
Where did you carry your coal from?
If I remember right, our uncle worked for a coal company, and we would get our coal there. So what my dad would do, pour it up in the driveway, and then we had to take it and carry it downstairs in the basement. We did.
What kind of stove did you cook
We had a coal stove one time.
on? What kind
A
of
coal stove.
Did you learn how to cook on it?
We did. You had to survive, you know. It was about surviving.
How old were you when you started learning how to cook?
Well, we started doing that when we were 11, 12, 13. You had to survive. Yeah.
Did your mother and father say to you, you gotta learn how to do this so you can survive, or was it an unwritten law? How did you get that message?
There's a lot of things I think that we were mature about, but we knew what we had, our duties were. And it was no question that she just did it. You know?
When your mother or father got mad at you, how did they treat that? How did they handle
I have to honestly say, if you were bad, you got a whooping. But the thing is, my father and my mother both were wonderful parents that, I'm not saying we're all good, we're all perfect, and we got whoopings when we got it. But if you would say, my mother said she had bad kids, but I'm just saying we were achievers. I'm not saying we didn't get whoopings. I'm not saying that. But, and it was over with. If my father say it's wrong, it's wrong. But if he feels you need a whooping, you got a whooping. If he quit giving us, if we got whoopings, it's when we was little. But, after you got a certain age. But I'm just saying it wasn't like every day it was like that. It's just it wasn't like, if you got a whooping in 5 years, But I'm just saying it wasn't like that. But if you're wrong, you're wrong. It wasn't when they beat down. Oh, bruised now.
I understand.
No.
Did you have other relatives live in the home with you when you were growing up?
I think more when we were little, but as we got older, we didn't have all that room. So, yeah, they stayed at my grandmother's house, who lived on the hill, up the hill from us.
What was your grandmother's name?
Her name was Annie McEwen. It was.
Do you know anything about Annie McEwen?
Okay, only thing I know, she had relatives that lived in Chesterhill, and her last name was Cook. That was her maiden name. She had long, beautiful hair that came down to here. Yeah, long, beautiful hair. We used to comb her hair all the time. And she had a lot of relatives to come and stay with her, come and see her all the time. Yeah.
How old was she when she passed?
I think my grandmother was either 7, I think she's pretty close to 80. Pretty close to 80. Now, she worked hard too. Walked. Back in the days, they didn't have cars. So a lot of times they walked, but they did get a car, but there was a lot of walking. And my mother did a lot of walking. Because see, my dad worked, and any place we need to go, like doctor's appointments, because he couldn't hardly leave work. So we walked everywhere we went. we did.
So how far was it from where you lived in Adamsville to, say, the doctor? How far would you have to walk?
3 miles.
Mm-hmm.
3 miles. So we had to walk.
Do you feel like your mother and father had a fair life when they were growing up? And why do you say that?
Oh, well, there's some stuff going on where I can't even talk about right now. Okay, there's some things that I'm not at liberty to say right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did that impact your life any?
Very much so, where I say this, we were little. We never asked our father and mother for nothing. We went out and worked, even if we babysitted or whatever we did, that we, how you put it, we were still in a household. We still respected our parents because we understand it, because we never put that burden on them. So we come very independent early. So we always had jobs, and we never depended on our parents. After a certain age, we took care of ourselves because we knew the money wasn't there. Yeah.
I'm hearing this more and more
Really?
throughout my interviewing process. Similar stories. So
Yeah.
it's not unusual to hear that.
Yeah.
And so, as you said, impact your life. It, you said that you went out and did things on your own.
Mm-hmm.
To this day, do you still do that?
I work 2 jobs. And I always, as long as I have children in my house, my children in my household, there'll always be a roof over their head. I will never. That's me. That's me. That's me.
How many children did you
I have 2 and a stepdaughter. I do.
And they are living with you now, or are they?
2 of my children are. Yeah.
And some of the things that your mother and your father passed on to you that weren't said, that you now do, can you relate some of those things to me? Some of the habits that they had that you now do?
Well, first thing I try to emphasize, like my son, he started volunteer at the library when he was 14 years old. He did that 2 summers straight. Then I had him working at the Jewish Center, and this is his 2nd year working at the Jewish Center. Yeah, because I try to put emphasis that life is not a bowl of cherry. Life is not going to give you anything. You have to earn it, and you have to work hard to get where you're going at. Yeah.
And how old is your son?
My son is 16. My daughter is 13.
And what's your son's name?
Austin Blair Chatman. Yeah. And my daughter's name is Kia Cherie Chatman. Yeah.
And your husband, what's his first name?
Edward.
Edward Chatman.
Yes.
You know where the Chatman family came from?
They started out in D.C. His father. Now his mother is from Fulton. Where is Fulton? Fulton. Where is Fulton? Kentucky? Around Kentucky? Well, her son's there. Wait a minute. Can I say, excuse me for a minute?
Yeah.
Lawrence. Sandra. Diane. Get Lawrence. Where your parents, where your mother's from?
Kentucky.
That's what I thought.
We just want to make sure we got Fulton, Kentucky, not Fulton, Pennsylvania. We're just making sure we got the right place, right state.
We're making sure we got the right place. We're not saying Fulton, Pennsylvania. Fulton, Kentucky.
That would be your mother? Okay.
Yeah.
We're just asking where she was born. Are you Mr. Chatman?
No. That's her son though. He's a hunter.
Okay.
Okay. Where your mom's from Fulton, right? Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you very much.
And then, what kind of work did he do?
My
Your husband?
he started out at Blue Shield Blue Cross. Then they downsized. He just went into the computer room. 1 week he had it, next week. Then he started out, after that he went to school for about 6 months in computers room. Then he worked for Suffens and discrimination. So then he went for Kroger's and he worked there for 15 years. And in between time, he went back to school, got his bachelor's degree. Then they downsized again. So he has a youth group. So right now he's doing a youth group. Yeah.
You know, people don't, and this is why it's important that we're doing these interviews, because the next generation and generation after that need to know about the downsizing and the discrimination, because it's so subtle. And,
Oh, yes.
And so if you don't mind talking about it, these are the things that we need to know, that he didn't give up.
No, he didn't.
See, and that's the message we want you to convey, if that's the way it was. And so when he was first downsized, how did he feel about that?
Kind of angry a little bit because he was getting ready to go into the computer room where his income would have been different. And then he went back to school, get his college degree. Then he went to Suffens, and the guy kept on promising, okay, your 90 days is up, we'll give you a raise. Never materialized. Then they got angry with him because he went over his supervisor's head. Then he had a lady, he had to train somebody for his job.
That's good to know that.
Yeah.
And that's hard. And how that make him feel? Did he give up, or did he go on? What happened?
Angry, but it still didn't stop him. He has a dream, he's trying to fulfill it. So,
Okay, thank you.
yeah, yeah.
What was it about your life that made you happy when you were young?
What made me happy? This, what we did today, people, family. Family is important to me. Family is very, very important to me. And just seeing how people interact with each other and culture, it's important. Very, very important.
And what was the thing in your life that made you the saddest?
Knowing that my father worked really, really hard, and knowing, like I said, we have a soup going on, yeah, and I can't really say, but one thing I would say, knowing my dad was a hard worker, and they made him quit work, and the job that he really liked, he couldn't really get to enjoy it. Yeah, and the job opportunity was not great for my father. It was not great at all.
The times that your father grew up, looking over the whole time period and all the men of that time, how do you view their life, all those men during that time period?
Strong, respectful, loyalty, and understand what family life is all about. It's a difference with the new blood. It is a big difference.
And then those like your father and the other men of his time period, what did they do when they was faced with the denial of opportunities to work?
First of all, that was a no-no, and it was kept quiet between the husband and the wife. And if it was discrimination, we never knew about it. So I know that my father, if anything, somebody asked me, because my mother passed away last year, well, what did your mother leave you? My mother didn't have a whole lot, but there's one thing she gave us. We got our land. And to me, that's more valuable than anything in the world. He gave us our land. Yeah.
You said name, right? Land or name?
Land. Yep.
So you still have the land out in Adamsville?
Yeah.
Is that a tradition in your family? Because it's very